Do you ever find yourself tangentially wandering off into the weird parts of Wikipedia while playing 6 degrees of separation of whatever topic, and you kinda stumble upon something that makes it a little bit harder to sleep at night? Well, put me in that category. I've happened upon something that is one part mysterious, one part weird, and one part a little frightening. And these parts culminate to make up a seemingly harmless and beautiful piece of jewelry, which is called the Hope Diamond. Seemingly harmless name too, right? Now, I don't know a lot about jewelry, so I can't really throw around the terms carats and types of metals, because I wouldn't know what I'm talking about. But basically, this thing is a blue thing that's shiny, and it's rather expensive. In French, it has the name the King's Jewel, meaning kings can afford it. Anyway, why this Hope Diamond is so interesting to me is that it is shrouded in mythos. Whether or not a lot of it is true or invented by Westerners to intensify the enigmatic mystery that surrounds the stone, and let's be honest, to make the diamond more appealing to the public and potential buyers, does not deter my curiosity. Some background on this thing, which is likely a fabrication that comes to us from the Victorian era. The Victorian era. I love it and I hate it. Mostly because, like me, they romanticized all the wrong things. We should bring back hair jewelry. No? Okay, yeah, no, I agree. The hair's gross. Ew. Anywho, the diamond was stolen from a sculpted statue of the goddess Sita, the wife of Rama, the 7th avatar of Vishnu. After that, whomever hands the diamond finds itself in, the story goes that they are brought nothing but misfortune and tragedy. This curse, on a spectrum of opinion, is said to be reputed by some, an invention by others. A report in 2006 in the New York Times has expressed that, quote, any hard evidence linking it to tragedy has yet to be officially proven. And it's currently residing in the Smithsonian. Suspend your cynicism in 3, 2, 1. I found some research that was compiled from a anonymously written newspaper article from 1909 and another one from 1911. Together they recount, with few gaps, the journey of this notorious little trinket. Please excuse all my poor pronunciation. It is bad. Let's have a look at some of this research, shall we? Jacques Colette. You apocope the last part of the word in French, don't you? I don't know what I'm doing. This guy bought the Hope Diamond from Simon Frankel and committed suicide. Prince Ivan Kanitovsky bought it from Colette, but was killed by Russian revolutionists. I mean, everyone's gotta die sometime or later, right? Kanitovsky loaned it to Miladu, who was murdered by her sweetheart. Wait. That definitely makes my list ringing in as one of the most detestable ways to die. Simon Mensuradeh, who once sold it to the Turkish Sultan, was thrown from a precipice along with his wife and young child. Oh gosh, that is dark. That is some dark matter. That, not actual dark matter. Whatever, onward. Sultan Hamid gave it to Abu Sabir to polish, but later Sabir was imprisoned and tortured. Oh, she-sho. Guardian of the stone, Kalub Bey, was hanged by a mob in Turkey. A Turkish attendant named Haver Aga was hanged for having it in his possession. It's getting increasingly more difficult to write off this whole mess as serendipitous. Tavernier, who brought the stone from India to Paris, was torn to pieces by wild dogs in Constantinople. Wow, I feel my cynicism melting away. King Louis gave it to Madame de Montespan, who later he abandoned. Come on, Louis, what's next? Are you gonna let your people become horribly impoverished and then, you know, build a palace, say, far outside of Paris and hide out with all the beautiful people? That wasn't very Sun King of you. Nicolas Foucault, an intendant of France, borrowed it temporarily to wear it, but was disgraced and died in prison. I feel like the people who speak the languages from which the names that I'm trying to pronounce originate are probably rolling their eyes so far back in their heads that they can actually watch their brain cells die with each one of my blunders. A temporary wearer, Princess de Lamballe, was torn to pieces by a French mob after displaying my deplorable elocution of this beautiful romance language. I feel like that's prob's gonna be me next. Jeweler William Falls, who recut the stone, died a ruined man. One could think it's like the stone cut out all the good things in his life. And this is what this research has reduced me to. I now make jokes about people's deaths. William Fall's son Hendrik stole the jewel from his father and later committed suicide. Some years after Hendrik, it was sold to Francis de Leu, who died in misery and want. Okay. Conclusion. And I think a lot of people would agree with me on this. It is of the utmost importance that we throw this thing into the fires of Mordor. I mean, really, think about it, like, there's nothing else that can be done. And it's rational, if you think about it, because, you know, if these stories are indeed fictional and invention, then the only possible plan of action is to throw it into the fictitious fires of Mordor invented by Tolkien. So that was a little wordy, but I meant every word of it. But on to other historical discrepancies. What sadistic freak named this thing? Hey, look, I just cut this really cool diamond that will bring death and misery upon whoever wears or owns it. Oh, it's pretty nice. What should we call it? Well, it's called the Hope Diamond. That's swell. Yes, that'll show 'em. The only possible way I can think of this being named is that someone wants to sell it before it kills them. And it's like, hey, wanna buy this? I'm looking to sell. I hope you die. I hope it turns its devious sights to you, because I want nothing to do with it. Conversely, I half expected there to be something called the Despair Diamond, you know? Something that brought opportunity and joy to whoever wears or owns it. Kind of like a Greenland, Iceland type of situation. But when I went to research it, everything in my Google search turned upside down and looked like it was in a mixture of Russian and those hieroglyphics from Lost. Maybe I just need to update my browser, or maybe, just maybe, I took this thing a little too far, and the Hope Diamond is trying to exact its revenge on me for my avid curiosity. I have to admit, I'm a little about the repercussions making and uploading this video may have. In the words of someone who was like a father to me, I'm not superstitious. I'm just a little stitious. Michael Scott.